As above, so below. As inside, so outside. This ancient Hermetic truth, expressed in the legendary Emerald Tablet, is much more than a mystical aphorism. Have you ever stopped to think about how the universe seems to reflect our own existence in mysterious and profound ways? From the atoms that make up our bodies to the galaxies that rotate in the vast cosmos, similar patterns emerge, as if everything is interconnected by an invisible force. Why do the laws governing stars also apply to the smallest particles? What does this reveal about our connection to the whole? In this video, we'll explore the ancient maxim, as above, so below, as inside, so outside, and unravel the mysteries she carries. Get ready for a journey that connects science, philosophy, and spirituality, revealing how the microcosm and macrocosm not only coexist, but dance together in astonishing harmony. Already like this video, subscribe to the channel and get ready. Are you ready to discover what the universe mirrors about you? And more importantly, how can this knowledge transform your life? For millennia, a set of enigmatic words has echoed through the human imagination. Intriguing philosophers, scientists, and mystics. Engraved in a mysterious work known as the Emerald Tablet, the maxim, as above, so below, as inside, so outside, is more than a simple aphorism. It is an invitation to delve into the deep mysteries that unite the cosmos to the human being. The history of this principle dates back to ancient Egypt, where Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure associated with both divine wisdom and human knowledge, supposedly recorded it. Over the centuries, alchemists, such as Paracelsus and Isaac Newton, have sought to decipher the hidden meaning behind these words. But what do they really mean? By seeing the universe as a mirror, where the smaller reflects the larger. This Hermetic principle challenges the perception of separation between spirit and matter. He suggests that there is a universal pattern that connects distant stars to the atoms in our bodies, transcending the barriers between the visible and the invisible. This universal truth, expressed with disarming simplicity, points to a reality structured in a holographic and interconnected way. The influence of these words is felt in diverse cultures and traditions. In the East, Buddhist philosophy suggests that the external universe is a reflection of the inner mind. In the West, the alchemical tradition sees the interaction between spirit and matter as a journey of transformation. This idea has crossed oceans and centuries, always reinterpreted but never ignored. This maxim has not only inspired thinkers, but has also shaped fundamental concepts of modern science. Today, theoretical physicists explore the idea that the universe may be a hologram, where each fragment contains the entirety of the whole. This vision resonates deeply with the Emerald Tablet, giving the phrase renewed relevance. If everything is connected, then what's inside of us can influence the world around us. From this understanding, a new way of looking at existence emerges, guiding us to look at nature, science, and ourselves with fresh eyes. As we observe the natural world, the maxim, as above, so below, comes to life in patterns that seem to repeat themselves relentlessly. From the swirls of a nautilus shell to the spiral arms of galaxies, sacred geometry unites the micro and macro in an almost poetic way. The universe is full of fractals, shapes that replicate at different scales. These structures are not only beautiful, but also functional, demonstrating how the same logic organizes the growth of trees, the movement of rivers, and even the formation of neural networks in our brain. But it's not just the visible patterns that connect us to the cosmos. There is an invisible symphony of forces at work, whether in the gravity that keeps the planets in orbit or in the subatomic interactions that sustain matter. In a way, the natural world is the reflection of a larger design, one that invites us to contemplate the laws that govern existence and to discover how those laws are imprinted on us. In the field of mathematics, the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio appear as codes that govern nature. From the design of flower petals to the structure of human DNA, these numbers reveal that the universe follows an orderly plan. Even more fascinating is how these patterns connect to the ancient concepts expressed on the Emerald Tablet. This same pattern, which seems so far away, reveals itself in the simplicity of a grain of sand. And when we look at the microcosm contained in the palm of our hand, we are led to question, does what we carry inside us also mirror the stars? If everything is part of a great universal order, then the same principles that govern the cosmos must govern human life. In investigating these connections, scientists and mystics have come to the same conclusion. The universe is not a collection of separate elements, but a web of interactions. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding that nature is actually an extension of ourselves, just as we are an extension of it. This idea of correspondence intensifies when we understand that we are simultaneously a small universe and an essential part of something much larger. From the cellular composition of the human body to galactic movements, the similarities are so striking that they lead us to reflect. Is what is above really the same as what is below? Every cell in our body contains a complete genetic code, a manual that governs life as a whole. Similarly, the movement of electrons around the nucleus of an atom echoes the planetary orbits that circle the sun. These coincidences are not mere accidents, but evidence of a structural pattern that connects all levels of existence. If we analyze the interaction between the microcosm and the macrocosm, we see that each contains a piece of the other. Carl Sagan, a renowned astronomer, once said that, "We are made of stardust." This phrase is not only poetic, but literally true. The atoms that make up our bodies were forged in the core of stars. However, this connection is not limited to the physical. Our emotions, thoughts, and intentions are also intertwined with the external environment. Studies show that a person's mental state can influence their physical health, and so can the world around us. This idea leads us to question the extent to which we are shaping the universe, while at the same time being shaped by it. Thus, when we look at ourselves, we begin to unravel an even deeper enigma. We are mirrors of the universe, and the universe is a reflection of us. And at the same time that we get lost in the immensity of the cosmos, we find in it an intimate reflection of our own existence. When we look into a mirror, we see an image that seems familiar to us, but which is only a reflection of what we project. So is the universe in relation to our consciousness. The law of correspondence teaches that the state of our inner world directly shapes the outer reality. If our hearts and minds are at peace, the world around us will seem harmonious. But if we live in constant internal conflict, everything around us will reflect this imbalance. This view finds resonance in ancient spiritual practices, such as meditation and self-knowledge. In the East, for example, masters teach that enlightenment comes from cultivating a serene and focused mind. In the West, alchemists believe that the transmutation of inner lead, our fears and weaknesses, into spiritual gold was the secret to living in harmony. Imagine an individual who, by cultivating positive thoughts and clear intentions, begins to notice changes in their life. This transformation does not happen by magic, but because our perspective shapes our actions and, consequently, the results. This can also be seen in how daily habits influence health, happiness, and even relationships. However, the transformation is not just individual. When many work toward a collective state of balance, society as a whole also benefits. Social change movements throughout history have often started with a change in mindset. Whether it was the cultural renaissance of the Enlightenment or the revolutions that brought equality, it all started with an inner spark. Therefore, by adjusting our inner lens, we adjust the way we perceive and interact with the world. This principle is the key to a hidden power we all have, to create, from the inside out, a reality that reflects our deepest desires. For centuries, the mystical ideas expressed on the Emerald Tablet were seen as mere speculation or superstition. But interestingly, many of these age-old beliefs have found an echo in modern scientific discoveries. Quantum physics, for example, reveals a universe where all particles are interconnected, regardless of the distance that separates them. This perfectly reflects the Hermetic principle that the whole is in each part. In the field of biology, we have discovered that DNA, a microscopic structure, contains the entire instruction manual for forming a complex organism. This idea is not unlike the Hermetic belief that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. In other words, the intelligence of the universe is not confined to stars or galaxies. It also inhabits every cell in our body. In addition, the theory of fractals, developed by Benoit Mandelbrot, shows how patterns repeat at different scales. This aligns with the notion that the same principles that govern vast galaxies also operate in the tiniest atoms. This correspondence is not only mathematical, it is the language of the universe. Interestingly, ancient philosophers have already intuited many of these ideas. Pythagoras, for example, believed that numbers were the essence of all things. Today we know that mathematical formulas explain everything from planetary orbits to the circuits of an atom. Science, like spiritual philosophy, continues to seek answers to the mysteries of the universe. And while the methods differ, they both converge on a fascinating truth. We are all connected, and what is inside us echoes in the cosmos. This union of ancient wisdom and modern science invites us to expand our understanding and look at life with renewed curiosity. While science explores the physical and mathematical connections of the universe, psychology offers us a lens through which to understand how these correspondences manifest within us. Carl Jung, a renowned Swiss psychologist, proposed the idea of a collective unconscious, a universal reservoir of images, ideas, and symbols that share common roots across cultures. These archetypes, as Jung called them, are patterns of behavior and meanings that emerge in myths, dreams, and cultural traditions. They act as a bridge between the microcosm of the individual mind and the macrocosm of the collective experience. For example, the figure of the hero in search of transformation appears in legends from ancient Greece to modern superhero narratives. This connection between the human unconscious and the universe is deeper than it seems. Jung believed that the symbols we carry internally are not just creations of the mind, but reflections of a higher order in the cosmos. This perspective aligns perfectly with the Hermetic principle that what's inside reflects what's outside. Consider dreams. They are often seen as windows into our internal world, but they can also offer insights into the external world. The images that emerge while we sleep often carry universal messages, revealing the constant interaction between the conscious and the unconscious. By understanding the archetypes and the collective unconscious, we are led to recognize that our mind is a microcosm of the universe. This discovery not only helps us understand ourselves, but also connects us to the whole. As Jung said, "He who looks outward dreams, those who look inside awaken." Alchemy is often associated with a literal quest to turn base metals into gold, but its true essence has always been spiritual. For alchemists, lead represented the dark and limiting aspects of the human psyche: fears, insecurities, selfishness, while gold symbolized the state of enlightenment, balance, and self-realization. This process of transmutation begins with a fundamental principle: the awareness of what we carry within us. Just as an alchemist needed to study the nature of matter before beginning his work, we too must delve into our inner universe. What are the thoughts and beliefs that weigh us down? What wounds need to be healed in order for us to shine? The Hermetic principle of correspondence teaches that internal transformation inevitably reflects on the external world. By confronting our fears and limitations, we become able to shape our lives in a way that is more aligned with our deepest desires. For this, tools such as meditation, the practice of gratitude and introspection become indispensable. Alchemists also believed in the concept of solve et coagula, to dissolve and gather. First, we must deconstruct the negative and limiting patterns. Then we rebuild our essence with more solid foundations, such as self-knowledge and connection with the divine. This process, while challenging, is profoundly liberating. It is inspiring to realize that this work is not just individual. When an individual transforms, that change echoes to those around them, creating a collective impact. Just as the flame of one candle can light others without losing its intensity, a person's inner light can illuminate many lives. In the end, spiritual alchemy is not about achieving utopian perfection, but about accepting our humanity, integrating our shadows and lights in harmony. The gold we seek is not outside of us, but in our potential to become our best version. Behind the scenes of the universe, a silent language organizes everything that exists: mathematics. Among its most fascinating manifestations are fractals, patterns that repeat at different scales and can be found in both microscopic structures and cosmic landscapes. Fractals demonstrate the perfection of the Hermetic principle. From the structure of a leaf to the arms of a galaxy, we see that the same logic operates on all levels of existence. It is as if the universe is constantly mirroring itself, proving that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. One of the most well-known examples is the Fibonacci sequence, a numerical series that defines proportions found in nature. The spirals of a pineapple, the petals of a flower, and even the shape of galaxies follow this proportion. This universal signature reveals that the cosmos is more than chaos. It is order, beauty, and harmony. In addition, sacred geometry, an ancient branch of mathematics, suggests that specific shapes, such as the circle, triangle, and hexagon, have a deep spiritual meaning. These forms appear not only in natural phenomena, but also in human structures, such as Gothic cathedrals and mandalas. They symbolize unity, infinity, and the connection between all beings. Looking at fractals and sacred geometry is not only an exercise in wonder, but also an invitation to understand the interconnectedness between us and the universe. If every small part of the cosmos carries the same essence as the whole, then our actions, thoughts, and choices can echo through dimensions we can't even imagine. This reflection leads us to a deep respect for life and existence. Just as each fractal is unique and at the same time part of something bigger, each of us has an indispensable role in the great universal tapestry. In our search for meaning, we often fall into the trap of separating the spiritual from the material, as if they were distinct and incompatible worlds. But the principle of correspondence teaches us that they are actually sides of the same coin. Spirit and matter dance together in a harmonic movement that sustains existence. Matter, in its essence, is a condensation of spirit. Think of an idea that, when cultivated, becomes something concrete, a project, a work of art, an invention. Thus, what is born on the invisible plane of the mind takes shape in the physical world. This symbiotic relationship is the heart of alchemy, where spirit is not negated, but integrated into matter. The same is true in our daily lives. Our intentions, thoughts, and emotions are seeds that we plant in the soil of reality. When watered with consistent actions, these thoughts manifest themselves in tangible ways. A simple example is body care. Practices such as exercise, healthy eating, and rest not only strengthen matter, but also directly impact our mental and spiritual state. The challenge, however, is to maintain balance. Many get lost by focusing exclusively on the material world, forgetting the spiritual dimension. Others, in turn, abandon matter in search of an ethereal spirituality. But the Hermetic principle invites us to integrate both, recognizing that they are not opposites, but complementary. This dance between spirit and matter is also visible in nature. The cycle of the seasons, the flow of the tides, and even the beating of the heart are expressions of this continuous interaction. When we understand this harmony, we can apply it to our own lives, living with more balance and purpose. Ultimately, this integration is not just a choice, but a necessity for us to live fully. Spirit finds expression in matter, and matter gains meaning through spirit. By honoring both, we participate in the great symphony of existence, where every note, every movement, reflects the unity of all that is. If the universe is a mirror that reflects what is inside us, then we have an immense power at our fingertips, that of shaping reality itself. This is not only a comforting idea, but a responsibility that carries profound implications. By applying the principle of correspondence in our lives, we become conscious creators of our destiny, able to align our thoughts, intentions, and actions with the goals we wish to achieve. In practice, this means that every choice matters. Small daily habits, such as making time for introspection, taking care of physical health, or investing in learning, have the power to transform not only who we are, but also the world around us. Just as a boulder thrown into a lake generates waves that expand, our actions reverberate in directions that we often fail to predict. The Hermetic philosophy also reminds us that destiny is not something fixed or insurmountable. It is fluid, like a river that adjusts to the terrain through which it passes. By understanding this dynamic, we gain the ability to redirect our energy and focus, creating opportunities and paths. Each obstacle, therefore, ceases to be an end and becomes a chance for learning and evolution. This power of transformation is not limited to the individual. When a person awakens to their potential, this change impacts their family, friends, and even entire communities. Throughout history, visionaries who internalize the principle of correspondence whether through spirituality, philosophy, or science, change the course of humanity. Think of Gandhi, who said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." He embodied the idea that what is inside transforms what is outside. You, like every human being, carry within you a spark of this universal power. The question is, how are you going to use it? By bringing more awareness to your choices, by aligning your values with your actions, you not only reflect the universe, but also shape it. Now it's your turn to apply this principle in practice. Start by looking inward and identifying an area of your life that needs transformation. What small habits can be adjusted to create a bigger impact? Write down your intentions, reflect on your beliefs, and take the first step toward alignment between what you want and what you practice. Life is an invitation to create, and you are the sculptor of your own reality. As above, so below. As inside, so outside. Transform your inner world, and the universe will respond with endless possibilities. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's explore together the mysteries and connections that make life an extraordinary journey. See you next time.